Yule ngusi leo ametoa manywele hapa.
Bulletproof vest.
Umezumini wewe. Acha fala. Unajua atazoom in sasa wewe. Acha. Chorea. Ngoja.
In 5, 4, 3.
Episode 21, part 3 of Kenya's premier sports video podcast, the Three Quarters Podcast. Or if you have a hard time saying that, you can just say 3QP. Today being the 23rd of April 2017, we are shooting from Kilimani, and we want to thank our hosts greatly for giving us this chance to shoot episode 21 of the Three Quarters Podcast. We always start by thanking our fans, our followers, our viewers, our subscribers. We do not take it for granted that you guys take some time off your normal schedule to watch each and every one of our episodes. And on behalf of the Three Quarters Podcast, all we can say is Asanteni Sana. This week we do not have any great quotes from former rugby legends, but what we have is our clarion call that we've been trying to punch into your heads ever since the beginning of the Three Quarters Podcast. That is that the game of rugby is 15s, and if we want Kenya to get to the heights that we always desire to get, we need to focus on the game of rugby 15s. It's in line with that we've created the Road to Japan hashtag to garner support for the Kenya Simbas as they embark on a monumentous challenge to honor support at the Rugby World Cup in Japan in 2019. They start with a test against the highly ranked or ranked above us, Germany, on May 27th in Kenya, Nairobi. We then go on to play Uganda, Senegal, and Tunisia in Nairobi. We fly out to Zimbabwe to play Zim in Bulawayo, and finish up with a game against Namibia in Windhoek. Therefore, jump onto the Road to Japan hashtag to support the Kenya Simbas. This is NGASH, your official noisemaker.
Jeringus, Kenyana.
And we get into part 3 where we try to show you that we're not all about rugby. We know other sports. We are Nanis, remember the general factor. Anyway, our sports knowledge is diverse, and therefore this is the part where we try to start talking about other sports. So we'll start with a wrap-up of the Kenya Premier League. Musali, you want to read us the table real quick?
The table, KPL. We have Posta Rangers leading the table at 14 points, followed by Gor Mahia and the AFC Leopards, successfully tied on points.
Yeah.
Then the bottom 3, the Chini Kabisa, Zoo Kericho with 1 point. Then you have Mathare United and Western Steamer tied on 5 points.
Yes.
Following 6 games having been played.
Yeah, 6 games having been played. It's Mathare, you see Mathare and you see Tusker down there because Tusker is just sitting right above the zone. And you ask yourself what happened to the teams. I remember when I was, you remember Mathare when us guys were growing up, Maisa. Those guys used to come from Maisa. They were the best guys who could play football. I remember Tusker used to have former Kenya number 10, John Mo.
Even the likes of our defender Musa Uti played for them. I think at one point.
Before he went to South Africa. But anyway,
but it's six games in.
Yeah, 6 games in. Yeah.
Yeah, we have 32 more games. 32 minus 6.
26.
Yeah. 26 more games.
Yeah, 26 more games to be played.
So let's wait and see how the table will turn out.
How the table will pan out. And also, I'd like to add that maybe it is time that our local media stations get involved in local sport and the local content. KPL, of course, we know that SuperSport have pulled out. Maybe it is time.
It is time that guys should check in.
Yes, that our local guys do check in and start showing these games to their Rayas. London Marathon happened this morning. This morning being the 23rd of April 2017. We had Daniel Wanjiru win the men's race from Kenya. And of course, Mary Keitani winning the women's race, right?
Yep.
It's also prudent to note that Mary Keitani has broken the long-standing world record that was set by Paula Radcliffe. Paula Radcliffe, sorry.
I was even shocked. I was shocked that that record was still standing.
Yeah.
I thought maybe like 3 Kenyans should have already broken it.
No, but I mean, in all honesty, give credit where it's due. Paula Radcliffe was good in her days.
She was quite good.
She was quite in a good. It's also good.
She was training here.
She used to. No, she was training here. She was training in E10. It's also good to note by there that Kenenisa Bekele is in the marathon, although he was beaten.
The guy is still running.
He's the 5,000 meter and 10,000 meter world record holder. Kenenisa Bekele, I think we've had we've been blessed to watch some of these guys. Some of these guys.
There's a
man.
legend of the track.
But anyway, that's the London Marathon that happened this morning on 23rd of April 2017. We go to the FA Cup, the longest and the oldest knockout competition in football. The FA Cup, we had Chelsea play Spurs yesterday, and they beat them 4-2. And we had Arsenal just beat Man City 2-1.
To a sweetie apple.
Yeah, what do you have to say about the results? Of course, now setting up a London derby.
London derby.
What do you have to say about the games yesterday and today? And what do you think is going to happen?
Once again, Arsenal
Yeah,
giving us malaria.
yeah,
They had to win it on extra time.
yeah,
Yeah, 2-1.
yeah,
It was a tough game for them, I suppose,
Yeah.
because it's Man City as well. This is semis.
yeah.
Once you get there, it's not an easy job. Yesterday's game was also quite entertaining. Yeah, with Chelsea coming up on top. Hey, that Matic goal
Yes,
was quite something.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was a screamer top left. Hey,
Yeah,
keeper was rooted. That Aksonga.
yeah. Loris did not move; he was actually rooted.
Yeah, and the final will be that will be a great game.
It's going to be a great game. Chelsea versus Arsenal. There have been some blockbusters in the past years. Chelsea versus Arsenal. I think the one that comes to my mind must be 2002 when Arsenal beat Chelsea. 2-0. A couple of Ray Parlour goal and Freddie Ljungberg. But the tables have turned, man. Like, this is Chelsea nowadays.
It's a different Chelsea.
It's a different Chelsea.
Yeah, an all new Chelsea.
What do you think? How do you think the final is going to play out?
My prediction, definitely, I'm biased towards Arsenal.
Yeah,
And I think this has always been our cup.
yeah,
Yeah, we are trying to get to. This will be a record 12.
yeah,
Should we win it?
yeah.
Yeah, should
13th,
Arsenal
actually.
win?
Yeah,
13th.
yeah, they'll win the
Should they win?
13th.
And this has always been a cup. The recent years.
Yes.
We had stayed quite almost a decade without any trophy.
Yeah.
And the first one that came was FA Cup, and we defended it.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be Arsenal.
It's going to be tough also. We have to mention that. So I do my heart. If I was to place a bet with my heart, of course I'm going to place for the Gunners.
Yeah.
But if I'm going to be pragmatic,
your mortgage that
if I was going to work on my mortgage, I think I'll put it with Chelsea. But anyway, the FA Cup final is going to be a London derby between Chelsea from South London and North London Arsenal. It's going to be played, of course, at the Wembley Stadium, the home of football in England.
Mighty Gunners.
Champions League football. We had the quarterfinals played this week. Bayern Munich losing to Chelsea. Bayern Munich losing to Real Madrid 4-2. We had Juventus drawing with Barcelona 0-0. We had Monaco beat Borussia Dortmund 3-1, and Atletico Madrid and Leicester City draw 1-1. Of course, based on the results that happened in the previous week, that means Madrid. It's going to be an all Madrid semi-finals.
Yep.
The Madrid versus Atletico and Juventus versus Monaco. First, let's talk about the biggest topic has been about the Bayern Munich versus Real Madrid goal. There are a couple of issues. Arturo Vidal's yellow card, Cristiano Ronaldo's obvious offside goal. Do you think it would have changed the outcome of the results?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
If Arturo Vidal, well, that guy's been always kind of a disciplined guy, kidogo.
Yes.
A little bit, but be that as it may, as you said before,
Yeah.
you have 90 minutes to
win the game.
to win the game.
Yes. And this one went to extra time.
Yeah, and this one went all the way to extra time. You
Yeah.
have the time to win it.
Yes.
So when you come and if there's a mistake done by the officials, yes,
Yeah.
they're humans after all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have the 90 plus the extra 30 that you're given.
Yeah.
Finish it off.
To finish off
Yeah.
the game. Also, just a quick mention, we bring you back from the Champions League, we bring you back home. Women's volleyball. The women's volleyball team, they're out of the World Cup, World Grand Prix, because of lack of funding. And as a result of that, also Janet Wanja, who's been like the not franchise player, that's basketball, but the face of Kenyan volleyball, has retired. What do you have to say about that situation of them lacking money to go?
Same old narrative.
Yeah.
The Kenyanism.
Yeah.
You wonder where's the money that was allocated
Yes.
to them? Okay,
Yeah.
maybe the government didn't allocate enough.
Yeah.
But why would the Queens of Africa, how could they not be participating in the World
Yes.
GP? It's quite embarrassing
Yeah.
for the nation. And it's a sad situation.
I think I'll be honest. We need sports in Kenya needs to get to a point where we need to stop depending on the government to raise this kind of money.
That as well.
We need to take the people to task. The guys who are in management for volleyball. Why don't these guys have funds? But anyway, that's a discussion, of course, that will be going on in bars as we go on. A quick read of the NBA playoffs. We have the Western Conference. It's tied at 2-2. Spurs versus Grizzlies. San Antonio Spurs versus the Memphis Grizzlies. We have the Golden State Warriors 3-0 up against the Portland Trail Blazers. We have the Houston Rockets up 2-1, though they play later on today at 10:30 p.m. Then you have the Los Angeles Clippers leading the Utah Jazz 2-1. You have the Eastern Conference, the Chicago Bulls leading the Boston Celtics 2-1. We have the Toronto Raptors and the Milwaukee Bucks tied at 2-2. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers ahead 3-0 versus the Indiana Pacers. And we have the Washington Wizards. Washington Lizards. Washington Wizards up leading the Atlanta Hawks 2-1. Any surprises so far?
Nah.
Yeah.
But apart from maybe the Raptors, the Toronto Raptors and the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
I thought maybe the Raptors would be maybe up, maybe at least a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's see how it's going to pan out.
Yeah, there's still, I think, a week of playoff basketball, so we'll wait and see. Mine, I think, is the Bulls and Celtics. I didn't think the Bulls are going to be that formidable. But anyway, they have a 3-time champion in the team, and a 1-time Dwayne Wade and Rajon Rondo, who know how to play playoff basketball. But anyway, that's the NBA. So the playoff, it's business end. Make sure you follow the playoffs and see who's going to be representing the West and the East in the NBA Finals come early June. Takes us to our bonus segment for the day, where these are debates that always happen in bars, what is it called? Bars, schools, when guys are eating, sitting rooms. As Kusale said, it can be boxing, if it's pillow talk. As if Chile likes sports. But anyway, our topic today is, should our local players form unions or associations to give them a voice in the happenings in their various sports? Kusale, I'll let you go first.
It's a long time coming.
Yeah.
Because I think our players have been suffering, if I may say so, at the hands of the masses of the respective unions.
Yes.
Of different sports. You'll find that maybe, let's say football. Yeah. Football, the players are not unionized.
Yeah.
They cannot dictate how much they're worth. The welfare as well, in terms of their health, getting insurance, and things like that. Case in point, also rugby as well. The remunerations. We had this rumor. It's not confirmed.
Yeah.
About money not coming to them.
Yes.
Money that was agreed upon with the sponsors and the
Yeah.
Yeah. If they had the unions can do the fight.
Yeah.
For them, and then they can concentrate on what happens at the pitch, courts, and all.
Yes.
Yeah. So
immediately, our content producer put out this topic this week. Something came to my mind. There's an interview I watched a while back. That it was an interview of Bill Russell, the greatest champion, as American sports likes to put it. He has 11 rings, but he used to play for the Boston Celtics, Boston Celtics in the 60s. And he was talking about just after the NBC sealed a deal with the NBA for media rights, when they sunk in money to the game. Bill Russell was talking about an All-Star game where they were not being paid. This money was coming into the NBA but was not trickling down to them.
the players.
And therefore they had a go-slow during the All-Star game. It was slightly after that there was a formation of the Players Union, which has been really helpful for the NBA players to date. There was also a small things like negotiating of a collective bargaining agreement that was passed maybe 2 years ago, thereabouts in the NBA.
Better known as CBA.
So, yes, I do think that the unions need to be put in place for the players.
It's high time.
It's high time that the unions come into play, because these unions are the ones that are going to be championing the rights of our players. And as you've said, these players, all they need to be focusing on is what they're going to be doing on the pitch. All these other shenanigans, they are not supposed to be dealing with that. So I do agree with you that it's high time that our players do get unionized across the board in all sports. And of course, in rugby, because we're involved in rugby just now, we'll try champion that and see if our players can get.
During the day, guys with day jobs.
and try to see if these guys can get unionized. That has been episode 21, part 3 of the 3 Quarters podcast, Kenya's premier sports video podcast. If you're not on this train, my guy, you need to catch up, because this thing is the big thing, or is the next big thing, if it's not the big thing right now. We ask you guys to follow us on Instagram. We ask you guys to like our Facebook page, and we ask you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, we do not take it for granted that you guys take time to watch our episodes and On behalf of the 3 Quarters podcast and from the bottom of our hearts, asanteni sana. This has been NGASH, your official noisemaker.
Jeringus Kenyana.
Stay tuned. Content drops thick and fast on the 3 Quarters podcast. Episode 22 next week. Cheers, guys.